Hello guys, I am Eastwood and welcome to Orange Studios. On this channel we learn tips and tricks in graphic design, and in today's tutorial we are going to do that. So once again, you're welcome to my YouTube channel, and just before we go on, I want to issue out this little disclaimer. The mind of God you are going to see used in this design have nothing to do with the design. The design is in no way or form associated with them or their ministries. It is just my personal admiration for who they are and what they've been able to achieve in their various ministries in the kingdom of God. And so it's just for educational purposes. Think you want to start a new document, control and shortcut to start. Today we want to work with A4 sheet, so let's work with the word extra grace there. I think that will be okay. So that's going to be the title for today's work. Every other thing here is set according to how we would like it, and it's okay, it's perfect. Let's create a form. Now we want to start by creating the background for the design. So we are going to start by creating the background. I already have some elements here I've chosen. I call it the church flyer, so it's here. So I'll drop this and that in Photoshop. First of all, you want to drag your image up here. I want it this way, so just look at how best to maneuver your backgrounds to fit how you want it. But I'm cool with this. I also want to drop this here. I think this is okay. Let me turn them off and then create a shape. Let's change the color to suit the work we're doing. So I'm going to turn this on and I'll pick a color from here and then adjust. Okay, yes, this will be okay. I think purple will be cool. So I'm going to drop this here, turn it on and apply a blend mode. So I'll keep changing the blend mode until I'm satisfied. Currently the color dodge makes sense, but let's move on and see. Okay, so let me settle it. Overlay. Okay, so I'm going to apply a layer mask so I can erase some parts of this shape. So let's enlarge this. Press and hold on shift and then just drag to have this kind of a transformation, or else it will give you a more uniform transformation. But in this case I don't want a uniform transformation, so we go with the shift instead of the just dragging. Okay, so the starry sky is too strong for me, so I'm just going to apply a little filter, that is a Gaussian blur. I think this should be okay. Yes, this should be okay. I'm going to drop my sun in there. It's too strong, yes, but we are going to adjust it until we are satisfied with what we are seeing. So reduce the opacity, enlarge it, Ctrl T to activate the transformation, then just hold on one anchor point, drag, hold on another and drag. So there we go. This is how far we've come with the background. Now we would like to group everything we've done so that we don't have our work messed up. We want to call this the background. Double click on it and then just call it the background if you wish. I choose to call it the background. and I would edit this so that I can easily trace my groups. So I'll edit this by right clicking, and then I'll change the color. Start with red, and then as you go on you change. So the next thing we are going to add to the design is to create our theme. So extra activates the type tool by pressing on T, or you can move over here and type and click. So extra is how I choose to name it. We are going to do something with this. Pay attention. So first of all, let's duplicate this. Okay, and then select the tool, apply transformation, and expand. Good. Let's hit on the move tool so that we can move it around. Now the next thing we are going to do is to turn off one and then edit the other. So I am going to convert this X into a shape so that I can manipulate it. To do that, I just have to right click here, move over. You see there's a convert to smart object. No, that's not what we are looking for today. Rasterize type. No, that's not what we are looking for. We want to convert it to shape. So we click on that, and then it becomes a shape that can be edited. To do the editing we want to do, we just activate the direct select tool or shortcut A, and then we can just select these two. That's what I want to do, and drag. So I'm done with that. You can just select on only one and then probably adjust a little. Okay, so let's try that with this one too. Let's see how it goes. We don't want to exaggerate too much, but just a little emphasis on the X extra. So there we go, our X is ready. We want to turn on this other layer, and then we can edit to suit. So what we do is to delete the X part of this layer so that we just have TRA, and the two combined is what we get. And the two combined is what will form the word extra. Okay, so this is cool for me. Let's turn off this and then try to manipulate the X. So what I'm going to do is to change the color. Just trying to make it stand out a little. I think yellow is okay. Orange, let's take it close to yellow. Good. Now I'm just going to create shapes and then clip marks them to this layer. So let's activate the pen tool and then draw a shape. Pen tool, not add anchor point. So the pen tool, just draw some shapes. Anyhow, we don't really want to form anything in any way. We don't really want to create any specific shape. We just want to draw a shape over and then clip mask it to it. So hit on shape to produce a shape, drag it above this. Let's change the color. Let's make it something like this. Let's see how it will look. No. Okay, this is better. So press and hold on the Alt key, take your mouse between these two layers, that is the shape layer and then this converted shape, X shape. Okay, so we take it between them and then just click to apply the clip masking. We want to duplicate this as many as possible, or as many as we wish, to create a desired effect. And then just change this color to have a different feel. Okay, so this is okay. Now let's see what happens if I reduce the opacity of all three. Yes, so this is the effect I wanted to create, and that's why we created all these three shapes over the X. Now let's group all of them. Just add this to the selection and then group them. We want to name this X, and that's all. Now let's activate this. Let's try and align the two, reduce the two. Yes. Okay, so now I think I like what I'm seeing already. I'm going to apply some drop down shadow to the X so that it falls on the extra and it can stand out better. Yes, this is okay. The size maybe a little too much, so let's step it down. It's okay. Reduce the opacity a little. I think that's okay. So now let's bring on the grace. Let's type grace. Take this below, and then we want to group all of this and then call it the theme. So THME. Let's change this as well. Right click and then this time orange so that we can differentiate between the layers. So now that we've done this, the next thing is to try and drop in the men of God, and we're done very soon. So yes, who do I make the host? Okay, his posture makes it better. Let's make this the host. His costume also fits better, so just making the host, not for any special reason, but his costume works better. Take it behind the theme, and then let's drop in the other ones. We want to bring him in front, and then the rest will go behind him. If you can notice, there's a blemish on this editing, which is this here. So if you mind, we just take it off. I did that by just hitting on the magic wand, or like if you want the perfect way, you just activate the pen tool and then make your selection. So it's that simple. Okay, let's make the selection. Enter, delete. Okay, so let's apply the layer mask, but before then let's invert the selection, because my selection affects the whole image and not where I selected. So let's apply it and see. So you see, so that selection actually affected every other thing of the image, but not where I actually wanted to delete. So Ctrl Z to undo, move out to select, invert the selection, and then apply the layer mask. So that portion alone goes off, if you can see. Now let's now try and adjust them properly. Now if you notice, it looks like Dr. Badu is too far from the whole collection. So we can just try something, flip the image and see if it will look better. Let's apply transform. Okay, so this works much better. Okay. Now we can group all three of them and then apply layer mask first. Okay, so let's rename them. Let's call them creatures. Let's call this group creatures. And then we want to change this color here. Let's make it yellow. Now let's try and blur out or erase out this part of the image. Okay, so we are set and almost done. So let's try and center the preachers and align every other thing to them. If I let's center everything, good. The theme is okay. I feel the preachers can be a little bigger, so let's expand them a little more. Yes, this is okay. And then let's take the theme down a little, just a little. Now with this done, the next thing we can do is to name them. I mean, I know all of them, but who knows them? Probably no one. There's someone who doesn't know them, so we want to name all the 3 men of God and then identify who the host. That's too close, tightly close. But let's make this 0. The rest can be as they are. Let's make this a capital letter. So we are going to change this to any font that will look okay. So this is okay. Let's try this. Nah, this is too strong. This is okay. So let's go with this. And then change that color to anything close to this. Yes, it stands out. Now we can reduce the entire font. So I'm simply going to duplicate all of this to write the rest. So Ctrl J to duplicate. We can drop the names into the preachers so that we have it as one folder or one group, and then drop them a little. I usually like to create some things here. Let's say I'll do this and then create a room for the logo and the name of the church. So I'll come to this later. Let's move on to the next thing. So what will be the scripture to use for this, or the subtitle? So let's call it my cup runneth over. My cup runneth over. Change this font to, let's say, this color. Let's see. No, I think the first one works better. Okay, so we move this up here. Okay, so at this point, let's try and then, like I was saying, add the logo to it, and I like doing this a lot. Let's see, let's add some anchor points to this shape so that we can adjust it. So I want to now create a drop down shadow for this. select this layer and now apply the drop down shadow. Okay, so now I think it's visible. Let's try and drop a texture here. Yes, it's already selected. Let's drop a texture and see what happens when we add the texture to it. Take it to above this layer. Press and hold on Alt and then drag your mouse between the two layers. I want to clip mask this layer to this, so simple. Just drag and clip. Cool, it looks good, but let's try some blend modes and see. Okay, let's move up. Whoa. Yeah, it looks some way, but I think I like it, so enter. You can choose a different blend mode that fits your work. I'm adjusting this. Okay, so I like what I'm seeing and I'm okay with it. So let's just drop our logo, proposed church logo. And then let's bring this back here. I think we added it to the group. We take it out. It's supposed to be part of this group, but first let me align the two before I drop it in the group. Drop it in here. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is to try and create some effects with the pictures we have here and then with the theme. So we are coming over here. We want to drop the sun back in here. But this time we are not going to use the sun as we used in the first time. We are just going to try and create the illusion that the sun ray spills over their shoulders. Okay, so let's change blend mode until we are satisfied with the blend mode. Yes. Okay, so this works. Screen works. Reduce opacity a little so that it doesn't become too loud. Yes. Duplicate this. Take it here. Make it small. Adjust it to suit your images or your characters. And the last time we drop it here so that we have this effect here. One more thing, the sun is here but it's not affecting anywhere here, so let's just go back to our background and then duplicate this. Okay, makes it too loud, yes, but we want to drop it this time, make it big, cover some parts of the design. Yes, good, and then reduce the opacity. Shouldn't be too loud. Now the next thing is to add a few more details to the flyer and we are done. So here we're going to guess the date. So it's let's say it's on the 5th of May. 5th May to 2021. Of course, we are not going to use this text. 5th May, it's okay, it's cool, but let's make all the same thing. So all will be, say, bold. All of them should be white. Then we'd rather apply that color difference on another thing, which you see very soon. Okay, so now let me drop the icons I wanted to drop in there. Okay, so I've dropped in my icons and I've already applied my color overlay to them, so I'll just use them as they are needed. So I'll drop this here. This is for the date. Let me turn the rest off until I have need of them. This point we are almost done with the design. Just adding a little more information as I please. You can choose to add them, you can choose to ignore them. At this point it's just all about adding some little information I feel would be relevant in our current day. That's about that. Nothing more, nothing less. You choose to, like I said, add them, or depending on who you're working for, what they are requesting. So we're trying to drop in all the social media handles and all streaming platforms. We can add one more. Let's say an audio mark. So you want to group all the social icons, call them social. Let's move this to the preachers group. Then group this, call it extra info. So this brings us to the end of today's tutorial. I hope it was helpful. If it was, hit that subscribe button and hit the like, share, comment. If you have any question, if there's any part of the tutorial that challenged your mind, you didn't really understand, you can just leave a comment and I'll address every one of them. Thank you very much and have a good time.